Okay, so in the last video we saw that we could write this set of very similar function definitions, and we drew part of the square and then we passed the buck to the next function, and we kept passing the buck, and we passed the buck again to square 3, and then the buck stopped here. Right, there were no more function calls in square 3, so the function stopped. So let's now I'm going to write something similar but a little bit different. So let's make our next file. I'm going to do import turtle again. And I'm going to define square n, start it the same way. But now, instead of passing the buck to square 1, since we noticed that square 1 is doing almost exactly the same thing as square, let's try this. Let's just type square n. I'm going to call this one recursion2. And think for a minute, what do you think is going to what you think is going to happen? Now, in this version, we pass the buck on to square 1, and then we pass the buck on to square 2, and so on. What's going to happen when we run this one? Let's see. I'm going to kill this and make sure I get a new window here. And let's run this. And where's my window? Oh, I forgot to call the function, didn't I? Let's see. So let's make a function call down here and say square 10. And let's call this guy and see. So what's going on here? Well, let's see. It looks like we're calling square 10 here, and we go forward 10, right 90, and then we call square, which is this function here, and we go forward 10 and right 90, and then we call square, and we go forward 10, right 90. So what's different here is that with this version of square, where it calls square 1 and then square 2 and square 3, the buck stops here, right? We're passing the buck and passing the buck stops here. Where does the buck stop? In this version, it never does it? It just keeps calling square over and over and over and over again. So let's just, if we hit, I'm going to hold down the control key and hit C. I think that's what I need to do. Is it? No, maybe not. Oh, there it is, yeah. So control C stopped it, and we get all this stuff here. So how do we make this one stop? Well, I'm going to play a little game with the values in here. Instead of drawing a square, I'm going to draw something square-ish. I'm going to say, and now I'm back to this one. So this is the one that stops after 4, right? Because the last one doesn't call any more functions. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, when you call the next guy, call it with a value of n plus 10. Okay, and then here, when you call this guy, call it with a value of n plus 10. And the same with this guy, plus 10. Okay, so what do we think is going to happen here? We're going to square, let's say if we call square 10. Well, this is going to say square 10, so it's going to go forward 10 and right 90. But then it's going to call this guy with 10 plus 10. It's going to call that one with 20, right? So this is going to get the value of 20. Okay, so, well, let's just see what that looks like. Let's just run it, and then we'll talk about it some more here. Whoa, okay, that's interesting. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, but each line is bigger than the last one, it looks like. So let's just make sure that that's true. Let's say, let's see. So here we're calling n plus 10. Let's put a little print function in here of what n equals. So n equals, I'll say format n. Okay, and you need the little this thing, right? Okay, so I'm gonna put this same thing in each function. Oh, and let's put the name of the function in here too. So then that one is in square, this is square 1, this is square 2, and this is square 3. So this will help us see a little bit what's going on if we have these print functions in here, right? So let's see here. Let's run this module. So square got the value of 10. And then it passed on the value of 10 plus 10. It passed on 20. So square 1 got the value of 20. Its n is equal to 20. Then it passed on 20 plus 10. It passed on 30, right? Square 3 passed on 40. And so then it went forward 40 and right 90. So that's why we have this pattern, okay? So then what happens with this guy if we say, if we say pass on n plus 1? Let's just take a look at that and see what happens. Oh, did I? Wait. Oh, that's kind of a cool design, but I think I messed up. What did I say? Oh, I said n plus 1. No wonder. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like it. Well, let's see if we said n plus 10, just for kicks. Control C. N plus 10. Yeah, that's basically what we're doing before, but again, it keeps passing the buck, but the buck doesn't stop anyplace. So in the next video, we'll see how we can get that buck to stop.